sweetie. Can you wait for me here? Just wait there, okay?
Can't afford to have a child.
My mommy.
And this is a prime example of homelessness in Ottawa, and this needs to stop.
Alright, good afternoon, Brianna. Nice to have you.
My pleasure.
Alright, today we're going to talk about the rising problem of homelessness on the Ottawa streets, and in particular, a death of Mr. Hamel. Could you tell us some more information?
Well, today we're all here to grieve the loss and give out our sympathy to the loss of Mr. Hamel, a 51-year-old homeless male who lived on our local Ottawa streets.
How could such a man end up on the streets, and what kind of support system did he have?
Well, Mr. Hamel never begged for money. He was a very well-known, happy gentleman and just asked simply for a smile as the local Ottawa employees had walked by him every morning.
Alright, was his family ever around? Did he have friends?
He saw his family, sister and wife, children periodically, and the others who had walked by him. They got to know him a little bit, so they got to know a little bit about his life, and that's what they have to say about him.
And I also heard he had a pet dog, half chow.
Yes, named Muff. That was his biggest support system, really.
Chow Chows, they're the best. I do have two of my own. I must say they're an awesome support system. And who's going to take care of the chow now? I mean, what's Muff going to do without his owner?
Well, Daryl Dempsey, another homeless man, also determined to buy his own home soon, has decided that he would look after the dog in the time being. But the poor thing is so confused, really doesn't know what's happening. Mrs. Rachel owner, yeah.
Oh, that's so nice. So, can we go over now how this actually happened?
Yeah, hard to believe, sad really, that such a nice gentleman ends up homeless and on the streets. It's not clear as to how or why he ended up where he was, considering the fact that he did have family who he saw periodically. But he had suffered a heart attack.
Ooh.
He was out to watch the fireworks and he suffered this heart attack, and Mr. Gauthier had revived him, and later the paramedics had revived him again, but he died early Friday morning.
What a sin. That's such a shame.
Yes, it truly is.
But it's clear to those who knew him or passed by him daily, by his humbleness and his genuine personality, he seemed happy and content as he never begged for anything more than simply smiling, just having nothing and just being such an optimistic guy.
Oh, so sweet. Many people knew him?
Yeah, plenty of people walked by Mr. Hamel every day, and plenty of them would talk to him and got to know him in the time being there. And they all had nice things to say about him. He was remembered for his positive attitude and the way he made onlookers' days, every day,
Well, what did people have to say about the loss, and how are they grieving for?
Most remember the dog, very confused. Every time he's taken by a walk from his new owner, he's all lost and keeps thinking he's going to be back and take it to that street corner, but he's not.
Well, I hope some people are trying to celebrate his life.
Yes, people have created a street-side memorial. Dozens have left flowers, and in a way it's brought a sense of community. This one man shared that same bond with everyone, that smile every morning.
Yes, unless we forget it, happiness is something so precious in our lives, and something as little as a smile can go a long way.
Yep, so true. An enthusiastic spirit, that's all you need.
Definitely. And it's amazing to see how someone can be so optimistic and be so positive on their outlook of life and still have nothing and be homeless.
It's so true. Can't take anything for granted.
All right, well, thanks
for coming.
Thanks for having me.
It's been a pleasure.
Homelessness is a serious problem in Ottawa, and frankly, it's not getting any better.
In 2001, there was a total of 14,145 people, and the support systems were 93% occupied.
In Ontario, there was 6,100 people alone, and the average was 44 years old, and there was about 214 people every night, and approximately 1,100 meals were served every day. That is a total of just under 415,000 meals a year.
Homeless people are not responsible for their conditions. Some of them have no choice but to live on the streets. They have been kicked out of their houses, or they might have suffered abuse in their own homes. And living on the streets seemed like the better option. Others may have got wrapped up in drugs, lost their jobs, and their lives might have gone downhill, which is not always their fault. Others may never have been given the opportunity to become educated because of their upbringing or lack of money. Homelessness exists in a society if that society decides to permit it. Any society that decides that homelessness is unacceptable can ensure that no one is homeless. It is that simple.
I recommend that people seek help right away if they know of anyone who is homeless. Family members, friends, anyone, doesn't matter, they all need help. You can go to the Ottawa Mission. You can donate your stuff that you don't need anymore to the Salvation Army. That will help people in the long term if they cannot afford to buy something themselves. Or they can go to the Shepherds of Good Hope, where they serve potlucks, soup dinners, or anything. They'll get nourished, and there will be a shelter for them to feel safe and warm and comfortable. So please, if you have a family member that is homeless, make sure you are their #1 support system and help them seek help. Thanks.